this thing where like when an application won't close, you open up the task manager and like the program, it's like putting a gun to their head and they're like, no, 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 I'll close, I promise. Anyway, yeah, that was a classic song from my little old childhood. Back in the day, this song played in all the trailers. Or the only one. I don't know what movie was that? I'm betting it was a Disney film, like probably Wreck-It Ralph or some shit. All right, what film used the song "Some Nights" in its trailers? What was it? I bet it was Wreck-It Ralph, dude. Fuck. I am the man. Wreck-It Ralph. I saw with my old man in 2012, and we took off school to go and see this film, and I was such a dumbass at the time. I was like, oh my god, the police are gonna see me go in there and they're gonna arrest us because I'm not in school right now. Literally, I refused to go into the movie theater for like 5 minutes or whatever. Like, I wanted to sit in the car because I was so nervous. I still am that nervous little freak though. Not really. I mean, I wouldn't be that freaked out, but I would be. I'm still a freak in a lot of other regards. But yeah, epilepsy warning. Never mind. Usually this thing could sometimes do a... There we go. Get blasted, epilepsy. No, but today was spent with me largely being distracted by this one cunt online named Mauler. I hate that fucking guy. Just because in every single one of his videos, he always has this high and mighty like tone about what he's speaking about. And he just doesn't offer anything in content-wise. Like, he puts out hours and hours and hours and hours of content for criticism. It's not even criticism. It's basically people watch it because they want to see, they want to shit on something, right? And they also want to get a summary of the entire thing. It's no different than those people who make the Indians who make the videos summarizing movies that are like piles of shit from the 2000s. I used to watch this. I remember I was in a phase where I was watching like, oh my gosh, I want to see the summary of the movie Jumper. Anyway, well, that's what basically Mauler does. Is he just says, his central critique of any one of his videos is never like, oh, this arc is unsatisfying, or oh, the pacing here was piss poor, or oh, the themes here just they didn't have a unifying message that really communicated everything properly. It's always just, this character should have recently been able to do this and they didn't. This event should have happened, but it didn't. This event is highly unlikely to occur, and it's just that on and on and on. It's basically a Gish Gallop of an opinion, basically, where he sets out from the start, like, this thing sucks, and here's the reason why, 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 and they all fall under the same exact problem. At least from what I've seen. I'm basing this off of all the videos I've seen in the past, and recently I went through his Fallout review, and his entire Fallout review, the first, 13 minutes is just basically saying, oh, the vault should have been done this, the vault should have done this, the vault should have done this, the vault should have done this, and it's like, you spent 13 minutes just to make the point that, yeah, the writers didn't really think this one through. They are so focused on... He wouldn't even make this level of commentary. He wouldn't even be able to say, oh yeah, what the writers were probably thinking here is that they really wanted to have the raiders raid the vault. They really wanted to have that imagery. And then they wanted to have the big twist at the end where they capture her dad. They really wanted to do that. And because they didn't think about it at all, they just wrote the scene. They didn't even think about all the other consequences that would come from this and how... If you, it would, they didn't even, Mauler wouldn't say that. He would just say, the Vault Tech should have done this, and they should have done this, and it's unrealistic for them to have done this. Why would their plan involve this? And it's like, look, if you guys want to spend 2 hours of your life just being told every single minute continuity failure and error in the story, like, go right ahead. And then tell it, this is objectively wrong. I mean, like, sure, in the sense of, like, oh yeah, these events are objectively wrong, it's not getting to the heart of why this thing's entertaining. Why do people find this product entertaining? Because, once again, I didn't like the Fallout TV show, but I still enjoyed my time watching it, and a lot of other people enjoyed their time watching with it, so clearly there's something here that would prompt some amount of reaction from people to enjoy it. That's why I can't stand this nonsense of being like, oh, well, the masses are all idiots and buffoons who eat up the goy slop. I'm like, yeah, clearly, yeah, but also they enjoy stuff that's good anyway, so there's no real good criteria to dictate. But anyway, the guy just pissed me off, and then if you really want to find out why Mauler sucks, check out the videos. The top videos are by Momo's his Dark Souls 2 review breakdown, which basically proves that the guy's a fucking clown. Because if he doesn't get, if he can only ever get things right in the sense of, like as I was describing, like him pointing out that it makes no sense for why the Vault residents wouldn't recognize that the people they've been trading for 2 years all look completely different. Like that's a reasonable critique to make. But that's the only level of critique he can make. He can't go anything further. If he tries to do anything further, it's always going to be wrong. And that's what, like, Momo, that guy who's an idiot. Not an idiot. He just made a garbage video about basically saying transgenderism's good because he subjectively likes it. But that guy made a video basically breaking down why Mauler is wrong about Dark Souls 2. And you just see in that video that all of Mauler's critiques is basically just like saying, I played the game and it didn't do the things I wanted it to do, so therefore it's objectively bad. And then I went back and I played Dark Souls 2 right after Momo did his breakdown of Mauler's gameplay. I'm like, no, dude, you just suck at the game. And you went into it wanting it to be like all the other two titles. And because they weren't like that, you said this sucks. And you purposely played in such a way to where you're stubborn and big-headed. And also his overall attitude, too, where he's like, clearly some audiences understand what it is I'm trying to get at. I can see around the semantic game. Some other dumbass made this video. It's really sucks that the only people who can make a good video criticizing Mauler are both dumbasses. But I mean, where is it? Mauler, bad critic. Who's this fucking guy? Yeah, Anthony Gramoglia. This guy is a clown. I mean, he makes a lot of good points in this video breaking down why Mauler sucks. But he says stupid shit where it's like he'll say, saying something's objectively bad it's stupid to say there's an objective standard for why movies and stuff can be bad, because sometimes mistakes can make them better. Like when Leonardo DiCaprio smashed his hand in the glass and kept on acting, and they added that into the movie. Wow! I'm like, you fucking idiot. That's not a mistake. That was filmed months before they even put it under the fucking editing booth, and then they had to edit that shit and review it over and over and over again before it ever even saw a big screen. That wasn't a mistake, okay? It was something that happened when they were filming, and they're like, oh, this is a great addition, let's add it. So this whole notion of, well, you can't say something's objectively bad because it's a mistake, because sometimes a mistake... No, dude, a mistake is when it actually detracts from the overall quality. It's something that the director or somebody didn't envision in the product. Quentin made the fucking scene with Leonardo in his bloody hand. He was there when it happened. He knew, I want this in the film. That wasn't a mistake. But anyway, this idiot makes that point. But, he does make other good points of why... Mauler sucks, because Mauler, he pointed out at this point where in H-Bomber Guy, and I don't even like H-Bomber Guy, but he makes his videos out from the beginning with a particular idea in mind, okay? He sets out a thing, and then he comes to a thesis with us, the audience, as the video progresses. Where Mauler, and the reason why he doesn't change anybody's minds, and he only is just basically maintained a little cult following around him, is because his videos are just catered to people who already hold his opinion. Like, his video opens, here's the premise, this movie sucks, I'm going to explain to you why it objectively is bad. And it's for this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason. Did I mention this movie's bad? And it's for this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason. And by the way, can't you see how this thing sucks? And it's for this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason. And anyway, and then he does a little wrap up at the end where he tries to say, see, everybody, this whole thing is a complete failure. Can't you see? It's all a failure. Come in next time. Come check out my 6-hour-long podcast called EFAP. Basically, it's a joke on jerking off. Isn't that funny? Check out Rags. He's definitely a rational man and not some stupid atheist who can't justify logic. I don't know if he is. I'm just guessing. Both of them seem to come off from that same punk-ass, materialist, gay-ass perspective. Oh no, you're ad hominem, Dan. You're just using ad hominem. I'm sorry, dude. These guys, they bother me. But it's a waste of energy to give a fuck. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I don't like them. And same with all these other guys. Critical Drinker, all these other fucks who it's basically their whole grift. And they're not even grifters, okay? They generally dislike this shit, dude. But it's annoying to me when I see these people who... They make their whole entire career around basically riling up and appealing to like a conservative or more right-wing or intellectual dark web base. But like they at the same time are no different than any other libtard or lefty or Democrat or a Republican tard out there. Okay, like they want to say, or not, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say here is that they're appealing to these standards of like saying, oh, like for example, that they make big that Mahler, Rags, Wrinkle Drinker, all these guys, they got big on doing what? That's right, making fun of feminist movies by calling out the girl boss movie, right? And they'll sit here and they'll say it's so wrong for them to putting politics into these stories to try and pretend that women are just as good as men in terms of like combat prowess and all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I agree, but why do you dislike it? Because I have like a whole catalyst of presuppositional beliefs for why that's bad. All right, but why do you dislike it, huh? Same thing with people who are like, these guys out there who they shit on like the LGBTQ stuff appearing in films, like Critical Drinker, all these guys they'll shit on that stuff. But I'm like, okay, but why? Because I have a basis for that. But like, what's yours? Because you don't dislike homosexuality, you're not against LGBTQ paradigms or algorithms or any stuff like that. So why are you even? Oh, because you have a base audience that loves to hear about that shit, and they haven't even. They're either gonna stay in this little intellectual nook cranny of this being like this of being like, hey man, you can have that stuff. It can be totally legal and take over the whole society. Just don't put it in my movies, man. Or people who will come more over to my side and be a little more. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not on any side yet. Okay, I'm a little silly Billy who's a pussy living in a basement. Okay, you don't come to me for any type of religious argument or whatever. I'm not anywhere near there yet. Anyway, I'm talking way too much. Oh no, people are gonna have opinions about me. Oh no, Dan, you're a racist homophobe. Ah, maybe. Well, I'm not a couple of those things. But anyway, love you guys.